Tuesday morning, sorry, and it's been very, very interesting. A lot of beautiful things are happening, and we know that definitely we are marching upward and forward as individuals and as a nation. So we've done a lot already, and we started this week with several beautiful things that are happening with all the challenges, and we giving our solutions to how we think that some of those challenges can be contained. And don't forget that we've been advocating for different uh, agricultural programs, those who should go into farming, because we believe that in Nigeria, what is needed at this point to curb the inflation is increase in the supply of food items. So we need more executive farmers. And we have talked about the Anchor Borrowers Program. So wherever you are, you can visit any of the maybe microfinance banks, the executive deposit banks, whatever you call them, the commercial banks and the rest, they fall into this category. So find out about the Anchor Borrowers Program and be a part of this interesting package from the CBN. All right, this morning, we are still talking about moving forward as a nation and making progress, because we know that definitely challenges are everywhere. We know that in our course, for nationhood, things may not work as we planned initially. We've been talking a lot about corruption, how we can curb the corruption tendencies in our nation. And don't also forget that we've been talking about the consequence for wrongdoing, and that is a means of strengthening the judiciary to be stronger and to be able to deliver judgments that are effectively carried out. So it is a lot that we are looking into at this time. But for today, we are going straight into the education sector. The federal government has given a directive that all schools nationwide should be ready to open on the 4th of August, because of those who are preparing for their certificate examinations, those in the GSS 3 classes and the SS3 classes. So we'll just give us a brief background and you can get ready your thoughts, your opinion about this. How do you see this? And we already have it that a lot of mixed reactions are already on social media and everywhere about the government's decision. So you also tell us what you think and what you also think should be the way forward and the solution if you see it as a challenge. So while we do that, let's quickly look at a few news updates that are out there so that we can react to them quickly. We have a breaking news reaching us that the um, African Development Bank, that's the independent panel of experts headed by former Irish President Mary Robinson, has cleared the president of the African Development Bank, AFDB, that's Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, of corruption, according to a report obtained by AFP. So this is very, very good for us. And the 15-page report earlier this year claimed that under his watch, the bank had been tarred by poor governance, impunity, personal enrichment, and favoritism. So the panel of 3 experts led by Robinson alongside Gambia's Chief Justice Hassan Jallow and the World Bank's Integrity Vice President Leonard Mikati cleared additional of all charges alleged by whistleblowers. So the way reports that the United States had insisted that an independent panel review the findings of the AFDB committee that investigated allegations of wrongdoing against Additional and exonerated him. We see this as good news, but we wonder why the United States is still insisting that another independent panel should still review the findings of the report that is reaching us right now. Is it that they still want a situation where the Dr. Akinwumi Adesina will be indicted for wrongdoing? We are still watching, but we think the United States should play safe in this. If the report had been submitted stating that the man has been exonerated of all wrongdoing, then that is a report we should all work with, even as a nation, Nigeria. So we believe that the United States should not bother maybe setting up another, because they've been on this issue for a very long time. Every report, every investigation, every panel, all geared towards trying to indict Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. We are not trying to free him of wrong. We don't know how much has been done in the AFDB, but we know that if he's really, really guilty, alleged. We should have seen one or more reports, stating that, yes, a lot is really happening there and a lot of indictments would have come in. But most of the reports have been stating that he's exonerated, is free from wrongdoing. But the United States has been insisting that more should be done in that aspect. So we should just play safe and work wisely and see how to work with a man like Dr. Akinwumi Adesina that has given a lot to the African Development Bank. All right, moving forward, we have it that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the naming of some railway stations along the Lagos-Ibadan and the Itakpe-Ajaokuta-Warri corridors after deserving Nigerian citizens. So these citizens include the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Kajola Station named after Babatunde Raji Fashola, or rather, Vice President Yemi Obasanjo was, Yemi Osinbajo, not Obasanjo, was named after the Kajola Station, then Babatunde Raji Fashola, the Agege Station in Lagos. Then Fumilayo Ransom Kuti was named after the Papalanto Station, and Wole Soyinka after the Abeokuta Station, among others. So this is a very beautiful move from the president. All right, then the federal government has allocated 10% of the 774,000 job slots in the special public works program to politicians. So this means that out of the 774,000 job slots that have been given to different local governments across the country for the program the federal government has set up for young people as a means of employing some of them and also giving them a means of livelihood, even with the COVID-19 pandemic and the after effects of it. We think that the president asking that the politicians should be responsible for 10%, or rather the presidency, there will be no need for it. So the local government should go ahead and provide a 1,000 per local government as they have been originally designed to do. So there's no need for politicians being given maybe a 10% slot for whatever reason. So we just think that they should go ahead with the exercise the way it is, and every local government should provide 1,000 people as it has been planned to be. Then we also have that the reintegration of 601 repentant Boko Haram terrorists into communities continues to generate lots of reactions. So the reintegration of 601 repentant Boko Haram terrorists into communities, a lot of people don't believe that this should be the right step from the government. And some of them are seen as just, in quote, faking their repentance. So they don't really see them as truly repentant. And a lot of the communities are still not very comfortable accepting them back into their communities. So sometimes you have a lot of tongue-twisting experiences. So this is coming from the northeast region of Nigeria. So we believe that a lot more should also be done to also ascertain the level of sincerity of these 601 so-called repentant Boko Haram terrorists. And even now, the communities are still not comfortable with accepting them back. All right. So that's some news updates. We still have a lot more happening. Definitely, you can reach out and get more of the news, visit the news world and get more of what is happening. But for now, we'll move straight to our discussion for today, and that is the mixed reactions greet government's mandate on schools reopening, and that is fully into the education sector. So we have it that mixed reactions have continued to greet the announcement by the Federal Ministry of Education stating that secondary schools in the country are to reopen from the 4th of August 2020 for exit classes only. And what they mean by exit classes are those classes that are preparing for, like we talked about, the junior WAEC, those who are in JSS 3, those who are preparing for the senior school certificate examinations, those are in SS3. So these are the ones that the resumption is being prepared for. So this therefore means that students will have 2 weeks to prepare for WAEC. That's according to the decision reached by the government. So while some Nigerians, maybe on Twitter, other social media handles, hail the decision Others are of the view that the development is coming on very, very short notice, because they believe that how much can you get students prepared for examinations within 2 weeks? So for some, it's too short. For others, it's okay. They should go ahead and write their examinations. So we would like to know what you think and what is your take about this. What's your opinion on this? So you can call us on 090-525-25101. We'll be ready to hear your thoughts. You can send your message, you can send your comments, whatever else, however else you want to communicate. Then let us know what you think about this. Should the government go ahead? Should we, or should we rather talk the government in the right direction, so that if it means for them to change or make some adjustment, they can go ahead and do that. So what is your view on this? Let's quickly look at this. Then while you are doing this, let me give you a little more information about the education sector, because even the doctors are also kicking against it. The federal government, that's yesterday on Monday, has said that the West African Senior School Certificate Examination will begin on August 17. That means as they resume on the 4th of August, on August 17, WAEC or WASC will start. So he is asking schools to reopen for graduating students effective August 4 to enable them undergo 2 weeks of revision. So despite these updates, doctors, that's medical practitioners, are of the opinion, and they think that they are afraid for the safety of pupils. So they said safety because of the unbating COVID-19 pandemic, and they said the government is not sufficiently prepared to ensure that pupils do not contract the virus. So the president of the Nigerian Medical Association, Professor Innocent Uja, told the Nation newspapers that while the children should not be kept at home forever, it is also unwise to expose them to danger. So he said at the moment, he said, we have not been told what new thing they have done, referring to the government, either the government, the private schools, or the proprietors, to ensure the safety of students. So it is only the living that goes to school, according to him. So according to the NMA, if the students are going to school, how are we prepared to ensure that they are protected from COVID-19? And we also need to be told in clear terms. So these are parts of the health concerns that the doctors are raising. Then apart from this, general opinion are all out there that within 2 weeks, you may not be able to prepare the students within that short period of time and get them ready for their certificate examination. So we'd like you to send us your comment and let us know what you think and what you suggest should be the way forward for this, as well let the government know, so that they also can take the right steps and move in the right direction for the comfort of our children and for the comfort of the parents. Everybody needs to be comfortable. And even with the concerns that the doctors are raising, the health implications, are they really, that's our Nigerians, the private sector, the government, and the proprietors, are they really sure that they are ready for the reopening of schools? But we're also concerned because as Blossom Nigeria, we believe that COVID-19 should not become an issue that is like a plague. Let's call it like a plague. You know, we have the concerns that are being taken note of, yes, but we don't need to keep students at home for that long. So we believe that the right steps should be put in place, the right safety measures should be put in place, but that will not take forever. We discussed something like this when the ASU president also raised some concerns. Most of those concerns were very, very good, but a lot of them were not practical. So you still have cases where, excuse me, you still have cases where a lot of schools are being asked to maybe update their facilities, hand sanitizers, create health centers. These are fantastic suggestions, but our opinion is that they may not arrive immediately. These are things that will take time. These are things that will have to be on a progressive mode. That means the Ministry of Education will have to start most of these restructuring of the schools and the facilities and the maintenance. Everything will have to start, but it has to be on a gradual mode, because if we just allow the children to sit at home and say, okay, until all these things are done, they are not to resume, Then at the end of the day, none of them, just like some people were able to project that if they continue with these things, they might even be at home till next year and nothing will still be done. So we believe that they can start. And as they are doing that, whatever else you think, you can also send us your opinion and your comments, and let us take what you think about this. We have a call reaching us right now. Call reaching us. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Dialogue Box on Blossom Nigeria. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. This is Christian calling from Lagos.
Okay, you are welcome. So what's your take on schools reopening on August 4th for the graduating students? Are you in support of it, or do you think it's something that should not be pushed?
I am both.
Okay, what do you mean by both?
Yes, I'm in support because we know that the threat level has come down.
Okay.
The threat level of the COVID-19 has come down.
Okay.
I'm okay with the resumption, but I'm not okay with the exam date.
Okay, that's August 17th.
It's too close. It's too fast.
Okay. All right.
If we can wait this long, we can wait a little longer for the students to take an exam. And then there was a conflicting rumor that WAEC has been postponed till September or thereabouts. What happened to that arrangement?
Okay. All right. We will need to ascertain that.
Yeah. Okay, 2 weeks is too short for revision.
Okay.
Because they didn't complete the syllabus in the first place.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks is just too short. In fact, it's less than 2 weeks. It's just too short to finish the syllabus and then to write the exam.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You want the students to fail.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. So we will look into the aspects you raised about the exams that were postponed till September. Officially, we don't have that yet, but we'll check if it's something that the government was proposing. Then maybe we think they can also give it a little more push, because according to you, August 17 is too close. 2 weeks is too short for the students to get ready. Thank you so much. We'll consider this very, very well, and we also appreciate your calling. All right, thank you so much. Then before we let you go, Mr. Christian, can you hear me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I would like you to just give us your opinion about the upgrade of facilities that maybe medical doctors and the rest are calling for. Safety measures, facilities should be upgraded and different things to ensure the safety of the students. Do you think it's feasible?
Of course, the safety measures is just the measure that we all have been adopting.
Okay.
Social distancing, I mean, give some distance, and then they are the only ones that will be in the school. So there will be enough space for them.
Okay.
There will be enough awareness just to make them more aware of conscious, okay, don't get too close. But it's not one cap fits all. They say what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
Sports are open. Remember, I mentioned it the other time. Sports are open, especially football. And the players, they mix up. They come together. They clash. There's physical contact. You cannot play football without physical contact.
Abby?
But these are our children. We don't mind. Let them go and take the exam, but they should look at the date. That's just all.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Not upgrade any facility. The old students are not coming back to school. The old pupils are not going back to school.
Okay.
So the school, no matter how small the school is, it should be enough for the transiting students, for those that are going to write the exam, PS3 and SS3.
Okay.
There's no need for any upgrade.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your take on this. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so that was Mr. Christian calling from Lagos and giving us his take. He's of the opinion that the government, even though it's good for the students to resume, but he thinks that the examination date is just too close, that 2 weeks is too short to prepare students for a very meaningful examination. And we also think that's a very good point, a valid point. Do you think otherwise? Do you think, or you follow the same suit? You can also let us know. Call us on 090-5252-5107. So let us know what you think about this. Should the students just be given the open mandate for them to resume? And if they are to resume, is 2 weeks enough for them to prepare for their examinations? And if 2 weeks is not enough, he was saying that he heard something about the government looking at September as the resumption, um, uh, the examination time for the students. So if that is a fact, or if that is true, which we said we will check up on, if it is true, then that means it should be given a little more push so that the students can have at least till September, that's like a month, to prepare for their examinations. And we shouldn't assume that all the while they were at home, they were studying. We shouldn't, that's a very wrong assumption, because you'll be surprised that most of them never even opened their books for this period of 4 months or thereabouts. A lot of them have not even checked what is the last thing they were taught in school before they were asked to go home. So a lot needs to be done to get them to standard, if we don't just want them to go and write examinations for just according to what they call it, white paper certificates. So if we want the practical aspect where we are sure that they really got what they were taught, then a little more space should be given. That's according to Christian, and we think that's a very good point. So any other point on this, you can call, you can send us a comment, send us an SMS, and let us know what you think about this, or whatever means you want to use. We are ready to hear from you. So the discussion once more is on the education sector. So the health practitioners, the doctors are asking for upgrade of facilities before schools will reopen, because they think, according to them, a lot is still not in place, both from the government, from the private sector, and from the proprietors, which is a good point. But like we said earlier, it's not something that can be done overnight. It's a gradual process. The only one that they can achieve for now, maybe hand sanitizers, getting the schools to be safer with neater things and neater measures, then different things that can also be done to upgrade what they already have. But if we are to look at setting up areas like renovating schools and different other demands that some experts have placed on the government at this time, it may not be very feasible. So we think that a lot more needs to be done to achieve this. And like we said earlier, work should start immediately from the Ministry of Education, but it should be a gradual work that will help to achieve, maybe within a 6 months period or a 1 year period, or even if it's a 2 year period, at least something is being done to upgrade the facilities. All right, so if we are to work with what Christian has said, he is suggesting that examination dates should be pushed forward. So a lot of times we may have to give our solutions, and to him, this is a solution. The solution is that government, you have done well in asking the students to resume, the graduating students, but for them to do excellently well and for them to imbibe what they have been taught, you have to extend the examination date. So if we told Christian's line, we will also say the same thing, and we're asking that no matter what, all that the government needs to do, they should put it in place so that the students should resume to school with more confidence, with more sense of preparedness, and even the teachers, and at least 2 more weeks can be added to them so that they can have at least 1 month to prepare for their examinations. All right, so this has been Dialogue Box on Blossom Nigeria, and we are very excited that we are making progress. But like we have said, a lot more is still happening, and despite the challenges, we are confident that we are moving upward and forward, and you too are also making a difference. Thank you so much. So we'll meet tomorrow, same time, but we had a little technical challenge this morning, so we started quite late. So we are very sorry for those who have been waiting for us. Even some have sent messages. Dialogue Boss, are we not coming on air? And we are very sorry about that. So sorry, but tomorrow we'll start on time and we'll be there live and direct. Thank you so much for staying with us. And this is Blossom. I believe in the Nigerian dream.